What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another battle cast. Today we have the Lizardmen, led by the Lord of the Skies, Tic-Tac-Toe, on top of, which I don't know if I'm saying that, it's probably Tic-Tac-Two or something, but anyway, led by Tic-Tac-Toe on top of his great flying beast. And they are, we're going to pause this because the action starts very fast in this battle. As you can see, we've got Vanguard deployment, so the battle kicks off pretty quick. But we have got the Lizardmen taking on the scum of the earth, the scum of the underworld, the Skaven. And the Skaven today are being led by just a regular warlord because this is a campaign battle and we were attacking a settlement, but it is a fairly heavily armed settlement, you can see here. So we'll very quickly go over the army comps. On my right flank, ready to run down these disgusting Skaven vermin, I have a troop of Cold One Riders who are looking fabulous on top of their dinos. Love them. My front line consists almost entirely of, actually it does consist, well, almost entirely of the skink cohort with javelins. And the reason for that is there is absolutely no reason to go with the regular skink cohort. Because these guys are shielded, they have the exact same stats in melee. The only difference is these little fellas here get a buff for, well, a buff is not a good word, but they have skirmish capabilities until they get into melee. So there is absolutely no reason to go skink cohort instead of skink cohort with javelins. These guys are way better. And in the middle, we have our Blessed Stegodon surrounded by some Saurus Warriors. Yeah, I was losing my mind there for a second. So we're using the Saurus Warriors as an anchor point to try to just guard our Blessed Stegodon, make sure that he doesn't get overwhelmed, even though he could probably handle himself pretty well against these rats. And then there's the rest of our skink cohort. We do have, over here in the front, our skink skirmishers, who are going to be very good at kiting. And there's a reason for this. I'm going to explain in just a second. But the real reason that we're here is to watch the awesome explosions from our terradon riders. Because I do some pretty intense bombing runs. It gets insane. So, not really needing to go over the enemy army comps. It's almost 100% clan rats and clan rats with spears. With the exception of they do have some Skaven slingers and I think 3 or 4 units of night runners. 3 units of night runners. So, we will put this into slow-mo so the action can kick off here. I have left skirmish mode on the entirety of my front line except for this anchor point here. And that is simply because the Skaven have very low armor. So they have next to no armor. So if you kite them and just kind of do a bombing, or not a bombing run, but just kite them and skirmish them down, they will lose health so fast because they have no armor. Now this strategy will not work against dwarves or elves or, there it is, or anything like that because they have more armor. But the Skaven who have almost no armor, this is a perfect strategy. Just kite and wear them out with your skirmishing. And we're going to get some more bombs dropping. Oh my goodness. This poor guy right there. Holy cow. Yes, and I've got like 5 units of terradon riders. I just start strafing bombing runs. It's insane. And the amount of damage that they do is just incredible. Look. This is just from bombing runs. That's all I've done so far. There's been no actual engagement. But there go my skink skirmishers who have firewalls moving and Vanguard deployment. Gonna be peppering down the low armored Skaven who are not ready. We'll come over here and check out the charge at the front line. Oh, JK, we're gonna kite you. With the exception of this little anchor point here. So, and early on they did spawn the Menace Below on my Stegodon. Not a good idea. The Menace Below has 0 chance against a Stegodon. With the addition of his backup here. Oh, there's another one. But, you know, they're doing what they can. They're trying to swarm with numbers, which is what the Skaven do. You can't blame them for that. We do have some Terradon Riders under fire over here, and I do actually forget about them. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I also forgot about my Cold One Riders until later in the battle. Once this unit breaks, I remember, oh yeah, I have Cold One Riders over here, and we start to use them to run down some of their skirmishers. But not for a minute. So, what we'll do is we'll just take a little look here. Look at how chaotic and spread out this battle gets very quickly. We've got Skink Cohort with javelins shooting, just wearing down some of their pursuers here. Once they get it within range, they'll kite. And you see how quickly you can wear these units down. Look at all of their units versus all of my units that are kiting. Like, it's actually insane. If you just kite them around, maybe use one unit to tie this up, and then just, you can wear them out so fast. The Skaven have no armor. And see, here again, we're gonna just disengage and move on. Now, these units are free with a little bit more ammo. But even once they run out of ammo, I'm gonna leave them kiting because they're very weak. And this is the point where we bring in the Cold One Riders. That is right. And they are after the skirmishers. My lord, that would be a terrifying sight. Wow, look at that charge. That was a huge charge. Alright. And we do have Tic-Tac-Toe, who is going to very soon, I believe, become a part of this engagement. He decides that he is ready to participate. Yep, there he goes. I believe we're going to see a nice drop of his bomb here. Oh, right in the middle of all of our friendly troops. Way to go, Tic-Tac. Attaboy. But he has officially engaged, trying to kind of support our Saurus Warriors and our Stegodon, who has decided he doesn't want to be part of this engagement. But we do have the enemy Warlord here, so it's a good place for Tic-Tac to hang out for a minute. Our Blessed Stegodon is firing at these units in the back who are trying to kite, or trying to catch, rather, our units here. You can see some nice hits on these clan rats. Man, this Stegodon just looks insane. Just look at him. You would not want this rolling up on you. Period. He just looks awesome. Alright, but elsewhere in the fight, we do have some Terradon Riders who are in a bad way over here with the Night Runners, but the Night Runners are focusing on taking out the Cold One Riders, which is fantastic for us because these guys do not need to die. They still have a lot of ammo. I'm pretty sure that we do end up losing one or both of these, but with this much ammo, we really need them to be shooting. We do not want to die with full ammo. Period. So if you just take a look at how huge and chaotic this battle is, and that's what you get when you're kiting, but with the Skaven, it is an excellent way to not lose many troops. Look at our ground forces versus their ground forces. Now, our Terradon Riders, we kind of had them running down some things that we shouldn't have, and then we kind of lost track of them with all the micro going on everywhere else. But they're going to be okay. They'll be fine. They're Terradon Riders. They're tough. So we do have a unit of Terradon Riders here who's run out of ammo. They will very quickly be used to run down units that are fleeing. We do not want breaking units coming back to the battlefield. We're sending them in to make sure that their lord does not come back. So they're just going to keep on top of him and make sure that he doesn't get any plans of coming back. We're sending in Tic-Tac-Toe. Basically everything at this point is being used to run down breaking units. The only real engagement that we have at this point is actually over on this side of the battlefield, where they were able to chase our Skink Cohorts with javelins up against the boundary line for the battlefield. But even doing this, these guys will be just fine. They're fighting Skaven slaves. This is not a good fight for the Skaven slaves. Our cohort will win this our cohorts will win this every time. So we're not worried about them. Let's take a look at what else is going on over here. We're being chased out. So it looks like we did have a Skink Cohort with javelins. Unfortunately get caught in melee, and they are pretty full on ammo. So this is what you don't want to happen, but it is an unfortunate casualty of war. We have some Terradon Riders going over to back up this fight over here. Lots of Terradon Riders, which is fine. That's a good spot for them. We have Terradon Riders tying up their units tying up their skirmishers because look at how much ammo they still have. They still have a lot of ammo. I do not want this being used. So we're going to make sure that they don't have an opportunity to use it. And at this point, we are pretty much just chasing out what breaks. That's what we're doing. We are still engaged with the warlord over here, who should die anytime now. There he goes. Poor little guy. Yeah, twitching. Okay. And there we go. End of battle. So, the kiting strategy I only used at this point because it was Skaven. And like I said, Skaven are low armor. They can be kited, skirmished down, and wore out very quickly. This would not work against dwarves, something like that. So against dwarves or any other faction, I would have my skirmishers hold their position because, like I said, they have the same stats as the cohort. So really, really good unit early on, early game. These battles are played live on Twitch. There will be a link below. So if you want to be part of the action live and kind of yell at me while the battle's going on to watch my back, check out that link below. Follow me on Twitter for times that we go live and times that we post videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to drop a like. Let me know. If you guys enjoy these videos, I'm going to keep making these videos. They are a lot of fun to make, but if nobody's watching them, I'm not going to make them. So if you like watching these battles or you want to see other factions matched up or something like that, let me know down in the comments. But other than that, I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I will see you in the next one.